Hello, my dear friends. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Hope, and I'm so happy that after many prayers, I believe that all of you must be doing very well. 各位好伙伴们，各位好朋友们，各位学生们，各位老师们，大家好！很开心我们又在空中相会了。我是王浩普，很开心在很多的祈祷之后呢，相信大家一定都健康、快乐、平安又幸福。Now we are going to move on to the beginning of this book, Have a Little Faith. 现在呢，我们就一起来从这一本书的最前面开始走起。To start with author's notes, the writer wrote, "The story spans 8 years. The cooperation of 2 unique men made this book possible." The author also mentioned these 2 gentlemen's names who shared their histories in great detail, families, children, grandchildren. The author moved on to say, all encounters and conversations are true events. If we move on to the second paragraph, while this is a book about faith, the author can make no claim to being a religious expert. If we skip one line, it is written in hope that all faiths can find something universal in the story. Isn't it beautiful that the writer is trying to thank these 2 different gentlemen by their sharing of their lives with this author? In the meanwhile, the author believes that he is not a religious expert, meaning that, of course, maybe his background does not offer him such a kind of professional perspective towards religions. If we skip one paragraph, 1/10 of the author's profits on every book sold will be donated to charity. This is also something that can be very memorable in each and every of us, that there are always chances for us to give, to share with the others, however different those chances or opportunities are, right? 我们在这整个的念读当中可以发现作者他想要感谢这2位非常特别的男士呢，跟他分享了他们的所有的背景的状况。同时作者也再次强调，在这个书籍当中我们所听到所了解到的事实全部都是真实的。而他也提到了，虽然这本书所谈论到的 faith 在这边的定义呢，是他自己所书写的信仰这样子的一种状态，不过他自己却不认为自己是一位在所谓的宗教上面或是信仰上面的专家，因此他不认为自己有这样子的立场可以去智慧于相关的议题。而他也特别提到了，在书籍的1/10的收入上面呢，他会捐赠给这些所谓的慈善机构。此处呢，我们不难发现，每一个人其实都可以从自己的不同的角度跟场域当中去做不同的好事，不同的协助别人的事情。We also have to remember that maybe the author or the writer of this book was really changed by his Professor Morey. It is due to the fact that in Tuesdays with Morey, the writer explained himself as being chasing for or after success, whereas his professor was really very much into human relations. He was mentioning about go out over there to those different community centers to give whatever you have to those people who need, a lot of older people or a lot of old people really would like to sit down with the younger generations who can share with them their knowledge, their time. Besides, his old professor initiated a greenhouse program in which he was serving with a group of volunteers for those people who need consultation services or counseling services in terms of the troubles they have met in their lives. Particularly, they are serving those people who are a lot less fortunate, financially speaking or socio-economically speaking. 我们在这边应该要记得的一件事情是，作者其实在《Tuesdays with Morrie》这本书当中提到了他自己是一直不断的追求功成名就的人。然而呢，因为跟他的教授在最后的10日当中的相处的过程当中，也就是在他教授过世之前，他亲眼的看见了，或是再次的印证了教授他这种非常深刻的人文特质，跟社区当中的人去做互动，去建立一个名称非常特别的一个所谓的温室团体。但是温室效应这样的一个团体呢，并不是我们所谈的环保方面的议题，而是人们的心灵的环保，尤其是针对那些比较有社会经济状况的人士，给他们有相关的咨商辅导的服务，并且跟着一群义工来做这样子的工作。同时他也鼓励了像作者这样子的人士，有很多的社区里面的这些老人家或者是比较年长者，他们其实都很希望能够跟很多人做互动，尤其是年轻一辈的人，也许对于电脑啦或者是各方面的科技知识比较了解，那么就花一点时间去付出的时候，能够得到的可能是更多的。所以也许作者在那样子的耳濡目染的情况之下，也了解到了生命的议题，也许是在于给予，而不是在于不停的追求。Therefore, from Tuesdays with Morrie, perhaps the writer or the author had really found that the importance of life is not probably about chasing after success or a material life only. It's also about sharing what we have with the other people, even if those things that we have may not be something very materialized or very money-oriented. Instead, it can be a part of our wisdom or our professional knowledge. If we move on to this book, the next part would be the contents. 下一个这本书呢，它所谈到的地方就是所谓的目录了。It is a very different way to let us see how the writer or the author would like to divide his groups or divide his book into different sections, namely spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And in each part of these different seasons over here, there are several chapters talking about different ideas or different parts of these two gentlemen that the writer or the author would like to focus on. 在这边的目录，我们非常清楚的看到，作者把整本书分成了4季，也就是从春、夏、秋一直到冬。在每一个季节当中呢，它又分成了不同的小小的章节，而我们会从这些小小的章节当中呢，看到它如何让我们去经过他的视角，透视了这2位他所想要表达的男士的背景的状态，以及他们所做的事情。Of course, we will also see the author's interactions with these two very distinctively different gentlemen. 当然，我们也会看到作者以他自己去加入到这2位男士的生活当中的角度，了解到作者跟他们是如何做互动的。This is such a rich book with a very abundant texture that we can explore all together. I will be looking forward to discussing with you much in depth, and I welcome a lot of different questions or any questions that you have or you want to raise, any comments, please feel welcome. 这本书呢是一本非常具有质感的书哈。那么哈普在这边呢非常鼓励大家哈，有任何的相关的议题想要来继续进行讨论的，或者是有任何的思想的结晶哈，不管是用问题呈现的方式，或者是用提出想法的方式，我们都非常非常的欢迎。Thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure to be discussing about this wonderful book with you. I'll keep praying that everyone in the world has a very wonderful life and that the world and the universe is always very peaceful.